What? Going to a sauna can make you smarter and drop the all-cause mortality rate by 40%? How is that even possible? And what protocols should we use to achieve it? We'll explore how to squeeze the maximum out of that relaxant practice based on recent studies, science-based protocols, and safety rules.
I've been visiting the sauna 4 times per week for over a year, so I've built up some experience worth sharing, so buckle up.
By the way, sauna is one of the oldest continuous biohacking protocols on Earth, with the earliest prototypes dating back as far as 10,000 years. The largest long-term study on sauna use, involving over 2,300 middle-aged Finnish men, followed for a median of about 21 years. It wasn't a randomized control trial, which would be simply impossible at that scale. Nonetheless, the results are absolutely striking. Routine sauna bathing 4 to 7 times per week, with sessions lasting 15 to 30 minutes, was linked to massive reduction in health risks. We're talking about a 65% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease, a 63% reduced risk of sudden cardiac death, and about a 40% drop in all-cause mortality. These insane benefits are the result of some awesome biological adaptation mechanisms that your body kicks into gear during heat exposure. We'll break them down one by one, starting with the favorite in my list, BDNF, or Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor Upregulation. It's a protein that acts like a fertilizer for our brains. It supports the growth, survival, and maintenance of neurons, helps form new connections between them, and plays a key role in learning, memory, and overall brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change. BDNF levels can spike immediately after sauna session up to 66% and remain elevated for hours or even days. Isn't it awesome? We can get smarter by enjoying the sauna. Combine this with some interesting company and wow, what a combo! Heat shock proteins. Sauna sessions upregulate key heat shock proteins, such as HSP 70, 60, and 90. Heat shock proteins are your body's cellular repair crew. They essentially rush in to fix or refold any proteins that have been damaged by heat or other stressors. When heat or other stress denature proteins, heat shock proteins prevent them from clumping and guide them back into a functional shape. They also carry away broken parts before they cause trouble. And in the brain, they protect neurons from stress and support memory. They also maintain proper folding of mitochondrial enzymes, which improves ATP production efficiency and reduces reactive oxygen species, which means less oxidative stress. In anticipation of further thermal damage, our body produces a surplus of these proteins. As a result, its level can stay elevated for up to 2 days, so just 4 sessions per week can provide consistently elevated level. Sauna upregulates mitochondrial biogenesis. Mitochondria are the holy grail of longevity and performance, and going to a sauna activates co-activator PGC1-alpha that activates the following transcription factors. Nuclear respiratory factor 1, or NRF1, turns on genes required to build new mitochondria and maintain existing ones. NRF2 activates genes that neutralize oxidative stress, detoxify harmful molecules, and repair cellular damage, which means healthier mitochondria. And TFAM is a mitochondrial transcription factor that binds and stabilizes mitochondrial DNA and is essential for mitochondrial gene expression and replication. In layman's terms, there will be more power plants in each cell of your body that works more efficiently. You will feel it as more energy, mental clarity, and better regeneration. And better everything, actually. Every process in your body is fueled by ATP produced by mitochondria. Cardiovascular benefits. A sauna is like a workout without movement. It speeds up your heart rate, increases endothelial nitric oxide output, which means blood vessels dilate and increases blood flow. That makes your heart more resilient, improves vascular elasticity, and lowers blood pressure. If we combine it with cold exposure, that contrast gives us an ideal workout for our blood vessels, which are about 100,000 kilometers long, enough to circle the Earth 2.5 times. Anti-inflammatory effect. Visiting a sauna downregulates inflammatory cytokine and upregulates anti-inflammatory cytokine production. As a result, it reduces inflammation markers like SRP1, the main predictor of cardiovascular problems. Well, life is definitely better without chronic inflammation. Again, it works the best in combination with cold exposure and helped me to get rid of chronic joint inflammation with no medication. Growth hormone increase. Controlled studies have shown an up to 16-fold spike in growth hormone immediately after sauna, which gradually returns to baseline within 1 to 2 hours. It's a direct reaction of hypothalamus to heat stress. You cannot directly sense it, but it speeds up recovery and regeneration, fat burning, improves skin elasticity, gives you better sleep, and of course, better cognition. Beta endorphins, your natural opioids, get released as you heat up, giving you that mild euphoria and bliss. Push a little deeper, crank the heat or stay longer, and you hit the discomfort zone. That's when the endorphins kick in. They trigger temporary dysphoria, the irritability, the "this is too hot, I gotta get out" vibe. It's uncomfortable on purpose. The cool part, the endorphins actually boost your beta endorphin receptor sensitivity. So next time those happy chemicals flood in, you feel them even more. What's even cooler, the endorphins temporarily lower your dopamine baseline. Sounds bad? Nope. It resets your reward system, making everyday wins feel way more motivating. More drive, more focus, more let's crush the day. That's why I kick off my mornings with saunas and cold plunges, to start euphoric and supercharged. Microplastic and toxin excretion is a super relevant topic in our polluted world. You see, our kidneys and liver are evolutionarily designed to handle water-soluble junk really well through urine and bile. But they are really bad at cleaning out microplastics, heavy metals like lead, cadmium, mercury, and other harmful compounds from industrial waste that we're receiving from polluted air, food packaging, or even your water bottle. In Bali, where I live, mercury contamination is chronically high, and the level of microplastic is catastrophic. So listen closely. Although actual plastic particles themselves aren't directly sweated out, they're too big or embedded, the harmful additives they release can be excreted. For example, we can sweat out famous microplastic-related toxin BPA and phthalates, and even some persistent organic pollutants like PCBs or pesticides. Yes, pesticides are also ubiquitous in Bali. Studies show sweat pulls out 16 times more lead than urine. Same for cadmium, up to 5 times for mercury, and famous nasty BPA, over 20 times higher in sweat. Sweating isn't just cooling you down, it's a full-on cellular car wash. After 1 hour of cardio, I just sweat slightly, but 15 minutes in the sauna, I'm dripping, dumping out all those toxins and heavy metals.
Guys, I just double-checked the science, and it turns out that exercise-induced sweating is clearly more effective than sauna sweating for detoxification in the studies I found. And about the 20 times higher BPA in sweat claim, that's overstated. It was based on one extreme case in a very small sample, not a general rule. Sauna still is a great way to detox, I just want to be precise about what the data actually shows.
Brian Johnson, Don't Die Guy, is a big advocate of daily sauna, and he claims to clean up all the plastic from his body using it. He doesn't sell saunas, so I think we can put some trust in his words. As you can see, most of the benefits of deliberate heat exposure are the same as for deliberate cold exposure. BDNF, anti-inflammatory, cardiovascular training. Only heat shock protein instead of cold shock protein. But why don't we have both and combine two practices amplifying the effect? Exactly what I do 4 times per week. And so should you. You can watch my video about cold exposure right here. Before coming to the protocols, let's repeat the holy grail of any adaptation, Hormesis, the dose-dependent response to mild environmental stress. It's super easy to understand with a graph. Y-axis here is the adaptation response, and the x-axis is the stress stimulus, which combines here intensity and duration into a cumulative dose. Down here we have no observed effect. You just waste your time. Here you unlock all the benefits. Cardiovascular training, BDNF, reduced all-cause mortality rate by 40% and more. Push beyond that and you flip to unwanted side effects. Headache, dizziness, oxidative and protein stress, kidney stress, neural injury. You can literally fry your brain, causing permanent damage. Those who watched my episode on cold exposure may raise a fair question. Yes, I'm drawing the same curve again. We should aim here. That's because the hermetic principle is remarkably consistent across many stressors: heat, cold, hypoxia, and even resistance training. Imagine 2 guys. Tom spent 10 minutes in the sauna and got decent adaptation result. He was full of energy and eager to visit the sauna again tomorrow. Dick spent almost twice the time, but ended up with the same adaptation result. But he also felt tired and needed some time to recover. Now picture a third guy, Henry. He knew nothing about Hormesis, so he overdosed on sauna and ended up with the heat stroke. He had a headache and instead of enjoying adaptation results, ruined his productive day and needed to spend a couple days recovering. Let's add Lucy. She spent just a few minutes, but it's below adaptation threshold and her routine is sporadic. She just wasted her time. I used to be each of them, but since I realized the hermetic curve, I've been acting like Tom. We always need to aim here, where adaptation is already solid, but the discomfort level is mild, so we can easily stick with the routine. Of course, as you adapt, the whole curve moves right. You need bigger heat load to trigger adaptation. But it's getting subjectively easier as well. After a year of consistency, the same stress load that injured Henry will be an effortless sweet spot for Tom. But how do we find that Goldilocks dosage? Unfortunately, there is no app or formula for your perfect dose. It's all about building experience, studying your body response to the progressive heat exposure. So start low, 5 to 10 minutes. Add time slowly, session by session, listening to your body in the heat and especially after. Too easy, level up, too much, dial back. Remember, beta endorphins flood you with euphoria. The endorphins hit you with discomfort. Both can trick your brain, so don't judge the session by how it feels in the moment. Judge it a couple hours later. Are you charged, focused, alive, or drained, foggy, flat? That's your real signal. After a month of regular saunas, you will be ready for GoTo protocol for almost everyone. 15 minutes, 4 times per week at 70 to 90 degrees Celsius. Yes, it's that simple. Regularity is preferable to a long one-off session. So you can go to the sauna at least every day if you have time. However, let's discuss how to do it in a safe way, so listen closely for the safety rules and Q&A. Should I do it after working out? Both exercise and sauna put some strain on the vascular system. So if you use sauna after a heavy gym session or heavy cardio, it's better to restrict it to one 15-minute session to not overstrain your heart. At proper dosage, it will speed up recovery and amplify the effect from working out. But if you overdose, it can backfire. Remember the hermetic curve. And because your core body temperature is already raised, you'll get that adaptation point faster, so be careful. That's exactly what I do. After an intense workout, I do sauna in a relaxed mode, one 15-minute session. The same is true for cold exposure. I also limit it to several minutes, but for another reason. Watch my video about cold exposure to know why. But if I visit the sauna on my recovery day, I can sit for up to 30 minutes or do multiple sets mixed with cold plunge. Also protect your head from overheating, especially if you have short hair or no hair. Use a special hat or simply a small towel wrapped around your head. The hot air goes up, that creates the gradient, the higher the hotter, and in a public sauna, people mostly sit, so you expose your head to hotter temperature. That's why it needs protection. Also, if you visit the sauna frequently, consider protecting your testicles from overheating. There are some dedicated underwear with a pocket for an ice pack. I couldn't find any special underwear in Bali, and the logistic of bringing your own ice pack and keeping it frozen seems too cumbersome. But I would definitely pay extra for an ice pack for my boys. So, sauna owners, listen closely. It's an opportunity to earn extra money while caring about your clients. Brian Johnson filmed an awesome experiment measuring his fertility markers with and without an ice pack. So I recommend checking out his video. Hydration and electrolytes. Same rule as for cardio. Sip to replace, not to overflow. Lose half a liter, drink half a liter. That's it. No need to chug a gallon like you're preparing for a desert trek. Now electrolytes. Everyone's pushing powders, packets, neon drinks. But if your session under 20 minutes, you don't need them at all. Why? Sodium, you're already drowning in it. Modern diets load it. Potassium, it's your Vegas. Spinach, avocado, banana, done. Magnesium, take it with your evening supplement stack, not in the heat. Your first meal after the sauna basically rebalances everything. One exception, fasting. During the 40-hour fast, I visit the sauna twice and I do a lot of cardio. So yeah, in that case, I am actually depleting electrolytes. Plus, ketogenic state requires more electrolytes, but it's a matter of a dedicated video. I mix my own electrolytes, but you can buy any mix you can find, just make sure there is no glucose or any carbs in it, because even a gram can kick you out of your precious ketosis. So here is the simple rule. If your diet or condition actually requires electrolyte supplementation, use it. If not, there is no need to use electrolytes just for a 15-minute session. Listen for the pro tip. If the temperature is below your favorite, below 90 degrees Celsius for me, and it's my recovery day, I can speed up core body temperature rising by doing 30, 60, sometimes 100 simple squats and some push-ups. It's the equivalent of taking a sauna at a hotter temperature. However, do it only after a couple months of regular sauna usage, so you can clearly predict your body's response. Because it will hit you a couple minutes after you stop showing off your resilience, and there is a chance you'll faint. I want to emphasize that almost all the effects from sauna you can receive at higher doses from exercising, resistance training, and cardio. In many ways, sauna mimics working out. Your heart rate and core temperature go up, and so on. Exercise gives you higher BDNF response, better mitochondrial biogenesis upregulation, better cardiovascular training, higher growth hormone response, and even higher heat shock protein upregulation. So always prioritize your exercise activity, sufficient sleep, and use sauna as a potent complementary health procedure. Yes, sauna, especially combined with cold plunges, can speed up recovery, reduce post-workout soreness and give additional metabolic and hormonal benefits. But it cannot and should not replace proper sleep and recovery. It should be added on top. And remember the hermetic curve. Longer doesn't always mean better. When I finally understood the biology, the mechanisms and the real benefits, my motivation to stick with the routine completely changed. I hope this video sparked that same shift for you, gave you the science, the feeling and the proof. Hit that follow. Next one, I'm revolutionizing everything you thought you knew about nutrition. You won't want to miss it. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap.